Here we go. So I welcome everybody to our Schengen Story Media virtual town hall meeting. It's a virtual town hall meeting because we're not seen physically, but we are all connected. This is a beautiful platform where we rub minds, share ideas, and look into situations and issues that affect us as Nigerians in diaspora, as also Nigerians in Nigeria. So I welcome you all. It's a wonderful thing to have such a gathering. And more importantly, when we have this gathering and we are speaking intelligently with facts, we're speaking with love, considering the fact that we are all from one place. So welcome again. This is the 13th of February, 2021. And this is Schengen Story Media. So first of all, let me make you know who we are. Schengen Story Media is a publication media in Europe. It is headquartered in Milan, Italy, but has coordinators in each corner of Europe. So we have coordinators in Germany, France, Spain, the UK, and all the corners of Europe. Schengen Story Media is on a mission, and that mission is number one, to give the Nigerian image, to show the positive side of the Nigerian image. For our officers from Nigeria, there's a problem we have in Europe, and that is there's a stereotype. There's this muffled up idea that all Nigerians are like this and like that. So, but the interesting thing is there are Nigerians doing wonderful things, Nigerians doing impactful things, great things. There are entrepreneurs, there are scientists, there are teachers, there are sports people, all from Nigeria in Europe. So we try our best to find these people out and show the world that, look, there are these people also with us. So that is one of our mission. Now, the other mission is we're trying to bring a development to the Nigerian community as a whole in Europe. So, and that development means us rubbing minds together, looking into issues together, and looking for solutions also together. So once again, I welcome you all. Today, we're having wonderful personality with us. Today, we're having people that matters. As Nigerians in Europe, there are people that our issue has relevance to. There are people we need to connect with to put out our whatever it is that bothers us. So in that view, the organization, the commission called NIDCOM. NIDCOM is more like the parent organization to NIDOE. We all know what NIDOE is. Now, NIDCOM oversees NIDOE, and NIDCOM looks into our issues right there in Nigeria. NIDCOM was established for the Nigerians in diaspora to provide for us engagement. NIDCOM was established also to advise government on major issues that could accelerate the development of Nigeria. NIDCOM also is a designated commission in Nigeria with the responsibility of coordinating, providing an organized system of collaboration with Nigeria and Nigerians in diaspora. So it is a great commission. Its policies recognizes and harnesses the potentials of Nigerians in diaspora. So NIDCOM is what we need. Is a great organization for us in diaspora. So with us are NIDCOM officials, and we will allow them to introduce themselves. They are here with us to rub minds, also, first of all, to acquaint themselves with us, because they are for us. They are like our daddies and mommies representing us in Nigeria. So I'm happy to have Mr. Gabriel Odu, the head of department of the media, department of NIDCOM. We're also having Barrister Habibat, the beautiful woman with a very good official relationship skill. She has that wonderful way of relating with Nigerians. And we also have Honorable Abdul Rahman. So I'm going to open for them to speak. Now they are representing NIDCOM. They are actually representing our Honorable, the Chairman, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, but situations have made her not to come physically. Maybe if some of you are following the news, she lost her mom, and that required her to be calm and do some normal things we do when we lose our own. So before we also go further, we want to say our condolence to our mommy, the chairman, Honorable Abike. Please remember to tell her that the Nigerians in Europe say condolence, we send our condolence. And we pray that God will sustain her and the family as they pass through this period in their life, and they will have strength to see things through. So our condolence. So yes, let me begin with the woman in the house, and that is Barrister Habibat. Barrister, unmute yourself.
It's unmuted.
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Okay, a very good evening to everyone, and a round of applause to you for knowing the Act, the Establishment Act, and even reciting some of the sections.
Yes.
That's a very good one.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed. So you see the Schengen media, they are also on point.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Barrister Habibat Eluame. I'm the technical assistant to the chairman. And we have Honorable Terab, Abdurrahman Terab, who is the head of department of the Technology Transfer and Innovative Department. Then we have Mr. Gabriel Odu, who is in charge of the media. So Honorable Terab is going to lead the conversation, and we'll all be here with him. I'm sure he has joined us.
Yes, I think so. Yes.
I'm sure he has joined us. So we are here. We are happy to be here. We are happy to receive your the letter, but Honorable is unavoidably absent, and we are here to represent her because she didn't want to turn down the invitation or fix another date. So we decided, okay, we can represent her in the interim. So we are happy to be here. We're always ready to speak with our Nigerians in diaspora because the commission is there for them. It's their commission, and we are there to serve. We are ready to serve because that is what we want. At least we can share best practices from you people and also transmit it down home. So I'm happy we are having this discussion today. And I know we have a lot to discuss because I don't know what topics you are going to talk about.
Yes.
That's why we are here as a team.
Good.
To discuss with you.
Thank
and
you.
I welcome everybody from the Schengen, that's the entire Europe itself.
Exactly.
I welcome you to this program. And as we go on, we will discuss issues and how we can also improve our country, how we can also transfer the skills, the talent, how we can also send in development to our country. It's our country, it's the only country we have. Wherever we go, we'll remember home. So I'd like to invite Honorable Terab, if he's there with us now. Hello, Honorable Terab.
Yes, I'm here with you.
Okay, so I'm handing over to you.
Yes.
So, you know, as the only lady in the house, I open the floor for you.
Yes.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Barrister Habiba, for a very wonderful presentation and a very wonderful introduction as well. I think you have said it all. First of all, I would like to appreciate the organizers of this very important event. for finding it worthy to invite us. And of course, before I go further, wish to sincerely extend the apologies of the chairman and chief executive of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission for our inability to be here at such a very important town hall meeting, which encompasses the entire European region of our members of the diaspora. However, thanks to the MC or to the coordinator of the program, who has actually made everyone understand that she's bereaved and she has not yet returned or resumed to work yet. And that is the reason why we had to represent her in this very important meeting. These are kind of meetings that she doesn't play with. She takes very seriously and she attends personally. And I am sure her past experiences or her past records will show to that. Yes. However, in no any measure is it being, undermined. So we are here to play the role of a representative for her. And then, of course, to see if there is any input we can give to this important meeting, and as well if there are any feedbacks that we can take back to her and the commission, and as well as the government of Nigeria as a whole, to see what we can be able to do to collaborate, to foster the interest of our people in Europe and across the world. Like Barrister Habiba said, one of our major thrust of the commission is to see how we can leverage the opportunities, the skills, and as well as the resources that Nigerians outside the country have developed, and see how that can be converted into the development of the country for the benefit of all, the government, the people, and as well as, I think there is one very critical sector whenever we are kind of translating the functions of the commission that we forget. It does appear as if it is only set for the development of the country in collaboration with members of the diaspora. As a matter of fact, one of our major focal points is also to develop the diaspora. Because if the diaspora is not developed, the skill is not there, the capacity is not improved, it means the country cannot improve. The way we see things going forward is that the diaspora is the third eye. It has this opportunity to look at the country from an outside perspective. It has the opportunity to compare and contrast the realities that are on ground and what is obtainable in other climes, and as well as see how it can infuse that as a major development program or initiative into the country. So we appreciate you. We are here as your guest. We will listen. If there is anything you want us to contribute to, where possible, we will. But by and large, we are here to take feedback back to the Commission and to the government of Nigeria and tell them this is what our wonderful people in Europe are doing. Thank you very much for having us. With me also is Mr. Gabriel Odu, who is the head of our media team. I'm sure maybe he will make one or two comments if that is actually part of your program. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yes, he's open to. All right, sir. Honorable, thank you very much, Honorable. Honorable Gabriel, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Thanks so very much for this opportunity. I also thank my colleagues, Honorable Cherab, Barrister Habiba, that have made earlier comments. I also want to join them and commend the initiative of the Schengen media. I'm a media personality, so anything media, I get interested because that's the focal point. Exactly. You know, it is the media that drives the narrative. Exactly. In your introductory remarks, you said about the image of Nigerians in Europe. It is the media that will change the narrative. And if you go by the name of the commission, that is Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. So the commission people begin to wonder why that kind of name. You know, some will say Nigeria, Nigeria Diaspora Commission. We said no. Nigeria, a commission for that. We said no, but we say it is Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. That means it is a commission entirely for diasporans. So it is our honor and privilege to be part of this Zoom meeting. So I want to thank you for the initiative. We want to thank you for this engagement. So it is a better way of engaging constructively with our diasporans. We're not just talking about remittances alone. Like my colleague said, we're also talking about the development of the diaspora. Yes. Because other countries have developed, Nigeria is where we are because we have not exploited the resources. Our diaspora is our best asset. Our diaspora is our pride. So the commission is established entirely to cater for a better engagement with our Nigerians in diaspora for national development. So I thank you for this opportunity. As we make progress, we'll send in our contributions. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you. Once again, we say you're welcome. And these are your children. These are your brothers and sisters far away in Europe. So we are happy to have you. There's something about having VIPs in our midst, mostly our Nigerian VIPs. It gives us a sense of unity, and it also helps us to know how it is back home. So also joining you is a representative that is always here with us and also like a father figure with us here in Europe. And that's the chairman of the NIDOE Europe. NIDOE Europe is another arm under your organization. So NIDOE Europe, we have Dr. Bashir Obashekola. Dr. Bashir, are you here, sir?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening.
Doctor, you're welcome. That's Dr. Bashir Obashekola. Dr. Bashir, we are sorry for last time the way we hushed up. There was other events, so we had to rush and enter into the other event. So you're welcome, Doctor.
Thank you.
Having you in our midst, like I always say, is wonderful because it gives us that sense of belonging. And you being our daddy, we both agree that on such outing, it's ideal to have you with us. So I welcome you. You've heard from the NIDCOM officers. They are here with us, representing the Honorable Chairman, Mrs. Abike Dabiri. So I want to go on with the plan. This is how we do it. We will open for questions. But like I said, let your question be direct, simple, and understandable. Then also, we will allow the officers to respond to the question and probably give other insights and other statements. So I'm opening with the question now. First, I will put one question. Everybody's entitled to just one question, one. So I want to open with just this one. How can the Nigerians in Europe have a more engaging and stronger bond with NIDCOM? How can we have more? Like today, when I called for this meeting, a lot of people didn't know who NIDCOM were. They said, do we have that again? I said, yes. So how can we create that awareness, more engaging relationship, we and the NIDCOM organization? Thank you. Yes, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Okay.
It's all right. Well, before I would have given that, yielded that floor to Mr. Gabriel Odu, who is our media head. But just like this very event, this is one of the ways we engage with our diasporas. But we've been setting up town hall meetings across the world. It is interesting that this commission is just a year old, just some few months. And the manner in which everybody gets to have already, discusses or knows about the commission, you would think as if it has been there for the last 10 years. It is that vigorous engagement that we've been having with our members of the diaspora and the general public that has given us that opportunity for the entire most of our members of the diaspora to engage with us, as well as to have that awareness. But it is an exercise that has started vigorously. It is continuing. In Nigeria, we have various media programs that almost run a number of times on a weekly basis. Our website has been available, and we always try to make it available for people to have access to our website, because we have a lot of information on our websites. And then as well, we have our Twitter handles and other social media activities that we do. But most importantly, we engage with almost every sector of our diaspora in every part of the world. Now, from NIDOE down to individual organizations, down to groups, down to professional bodies, student organizations, as well as many other social groups that are based in various parts of the world. We, unfortunately, of course, because of the pandemic, a lot of programs have been suspended. But of course, despite that, this kind of virtual meetings have continued, and it seems to be on the rise again. So continuously, that is what we do. It's a new commission. A lot is being put in place, and already a lot has been done, sincerely speaking, with respect to creating the necessary awareness. We have various generations of our members of the diaspora. We have the first generation, the second generation. For as much as we know, most of those who have links currently with Nigeria, and in one way or the other have something to do with the country, either by way of getting to be informed through news, or getting to personally visit Nigeria or discuss with friends and family in the country, I am sure the awareness has gone very, very far. However, let me ask Mr. Gabriel Odu to also contribute in that regard. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Cherab, for that opportunity. You have done well. Yes, NIDCOM primarily is seeking a better engagement with our diasporans. And let me put this fact straight. We are aware that the chairman and chief executive officer of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Honorable Abike Dabri Erewa, is a seasoned journalist. So she does not joke with awareness and sensitization of NIDCOM programs and activities. So NIDCOM, being barely a year old, has engaged variously. First, it does a yearly, an annual program called Nigerians National Diaspora Day Celebration, where Nigerians in diaspora congregate, network, and offer solutions and bring up projects that will fast-track development back home. Two, from the media perspective, the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission has what is called the Diaspora Program. It's a weekly magazine program that x-rays, articulates, and harmonizes activities of Nigerians in diaspora and those of the Commission, and spotlight them to the world. We broadcast to Ben TV London every week. We broadcast to Web TV Nigeria every week. We broadcast to WTV every week. We broadcast to the largest TV network in Africa, the NTA, every week. And it is also broadcast in all social media platforms. So that is a very good strategy for engaging and sensitizing Nigerians in the diaspora. Added to that, we will revitalize what we call the Diaspora newsletter that is circulated all around to Nigerian missions, to agencies, government agencies and departments and ministries. So we circulate this, showcasing the potentials of Nigerians in diaspora. We also have there what is called diaspora icons. Outstanding Nigerians are spotlighted in the newsletter and circulated. We are all, in the meantime, there's also a project called Project 600. We picked 600 outstanding Nigerians in diaspora, but we have gotten over 700 to tell you how we view Nigerians in diaspora as our asset, as our pride. So the chairman is committed to a better and robust engagement with Nigerians in the diaspora. Afterwards, the sole aim of the commission, even as the name implies, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. This is a commission for Nigerians outside there. You are the best in the world, anywhere, in any field. So why is our country still the way it is? Because we have failed to tap from the diaspora, because we have failed to engage you more potently, more constructively. So you have the resources, you have the exposure, you have the talent, you have the skills. So what do? We need to engage more adequately with you. And that is why this webinar we're having today is crucial and very, very important to Nigeria's development. So I thank you. We'll continue engaging as we go on. Thank you.
Very much. Thank you. Yes, there's the hands are coming up now. Before the question from here, there's a question from the YouTube section. It says, does NIDCOM have a good data of Nigerians in diaspora? Does NIDCOM have good data of Nigeria in diaspora?
Mark, please, yes. when the NIDCOM officials answer a question, yes, allow Obasekola to also give an input, so he can also contribute. Okay. And give his own view on the answers. Okay. So we can get them along together.
Yes, that's a very good one. Thank you very much. That's a good submission. So, but because questions are coming in from different corners, so I just want that sharp answer. Then we take hands that are being raised here. Okay, does Doctor have anything to say about the engagement question? Doctor, do you have anything to say?
Okay, thank you. Well, I don't think I should go into polemics with our NIDCOM agents, our representatives here. But I think most importantly is that NIDCOM is new, and which is emphasized, and they are trying, what they are doing, to promote, the diasporans and also make us feel involved in all these, activities. But of course, we always, like Oliver Twist, we always look for, which more is done in aspect of, involving, the organization, that is NIDOE, whose function is just a carbon copy of what NIDCOM is in Nigeria, because NIDOE was established, just as, NIDCOM is being established in Nigeria for the purpose of harnessing the human and financial resources of Nigerians and diaspora. While NIDCOM is doing that from the Nigerian side, NIDOE was expected to be doing it from the other side of the border. And I think, the two, need to, they say it takes two to tango. I think the two have to tango now, which I think the NIDCOM, have to recognize the fact that, there is already an instrument created for it to harness, which is NIDOE, for the purpose of, engaging diaspora. We are not, saying that, NIDCOM should limit itself to, our organization, because organization is different from representation. NIDOE represents, because that is the essence of it. We need, to have that representation, and that to be more cordial in that. And I think, we are already doing, going to that direction. they say there's no need creating, inventing will when will is already invented. And I think that is what NIDOE is. NIDOE is already invented. Of course, in some countries, it's created the other way around. That is, first of all, a ministry of diaspora affairs or a commission of diaspora affairs or agents of diaspora affairs was created before any, organization is created outside the country. But Nigeria happens to be the other way around. Thank God, NIDOE was also part and parcel of the drive that made sure that NIDCOM was created. And I think that fact must always be established, because we are not antagonistic, because some people don't understand what NIDCOM is. They thought it's a parallel organization to NIDOE. No, it is, they are twin brothers. They are twins. One was supposed to station in Nigeria, where the other one is stationed out of the country. Two of them working together, doing Nigeria great. And that is the purpose. It's not a parallel organization. We are not rival, but rather we complement each other. One represents government, one does not represent government, which is non-governmental. But the two of them is what makes diaspora, important in Nigerian political sphere.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you. Yes, the hands are going up. Okay, but we'll still come back to that question. Go ahead, Honorable Samson from Italy.
All right. Good evening, gentlemen, and thanks for having me. First of all, I would like to thank the Schengen, as they have engaged the Nigerians in diaspora with the NIDCOM, which is the Nigerian Diaspora Commission. Those charged with responsibility of further enhancing how Nigerians are engaged. But I want to also align myself with the chairman of NIDOE Europe, but in much more clearer stance. And I will throw my own question and suggestion. I quite agree that the NIDCOM is doing everything possible to sensitize Nigerians. And at the end of the statement, you said, how come most of these sensitizations and most of this work are not really giving the end results? I think that was the statement in conclusion. The reason is this: over time, there have been a whole lot of politics and hula baloo going on under there. That is not what we're here tonight. But mine will be, in moving forward, there are ways also the NIDCOM can further engage with the Nigerians in diaspora, because Nigerians live in different parts of the foreign countries, and there are peculiar laws depending on where you live. The problem also that we have not harnessed that potential well, not just only by having on paper or what Nigerians are doing. I think what people should be looking for is, what is it a Nigerian cannot do? Because Nigerians can do everything. So then how the NIDCOM will now harness this thing to impact the economy back home? These potentials can go on in order to sell it even at their state levels where they come from individually. It is not, everything must not be at the federal level, because it sounds as if we concentrate everything at the federal level, it will be so much for us. There's a way also they can sell this thing to the individual states where it can impact the states and probably the grassroots proper. We can feel the impact of what diaspora can do, even with the scarce resources, because the resources are there scarce to do that, we understand. Then also this confidence can be built when we go into shopping, where you come to individual countries with the leadership that are there to help you harness the people with the resources equally they have, so that it can further drive down. It doesn't end only when you do the ones on paper, you collect them, but when you collect them, how do government make use of them at the end of the day? So it's not about the remittances, but it's all about further to get the people and now create an enabling environment for them to come down and work and complement that effort for shopping out for them, especially driving it through their states where their people can feel it, not just at the government. Everybody can get government contract and want to get government work, but you can go further to your states and have something. And the diaspora NIDCOM can help you, solidify your relationship with states where you come from, or more where you can be more active and play more impact. Diasporans does not necessarily mean when you live abroad alone. It is when they get you from abroad, because I believe those who helped in trying to shape their countries were Pan-Africans and they were all abroad, but they had to come back home. You need them. So NIDCOM needs to be helping to enhance, first of all, those enable environment to enable the diasporans to come in and work, build confidence and trust, and furthermore, to also make it known to other people who are real and ready to sacrifice those areas. I think that's what I want to say for now, before I go to a very important question that borders on the current, sanctions, or rather not sanction, but certain impediments in order people to now cash money back home. The CBN is bringing. Some of these things are becoming draconic for us that are living even in Italy right now, because there are smaller bills that you might want to send, and to people at the rural area, they are all also affected, and we know what the economic miasma is right now biting in the country. So I would like also to use this opportunity to call even the chairman of NIDOE Europe, that there should be a very serious outcry on this issue via also the NIDCOM, so that the governments who are shaping policy can understand how it works for those who are outside and for those who will benefit from it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sampson. Thank you. Yes. Go ahead, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sam. Well, first of all, let me take it generally to address the two major issues that have been raised. I appreciate the NIDOE Europe's position. And of course, I am sure he is aware that the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission has been fully much engaged ever since he came on board. We celebrated him. We've extended our hands of fellowship to his administration, and we have indicated in very clear terms our willingness to work with him and to work with his team and to ensure that his own administration succeeds. I think without again saying the fact that we are very open for any kind of engagement, and we try as much as possible not to give excuses whenever we are required to do so. So I want to extend the assurances of the Honorable Chairman of Nigerians in Diaspora to Dr. Bashir and his group, that any kind of engagement that you want us to get into, we are very much willing. We know we are partners, and we are always committed to serving any kind of issues that you think that would be important to be brought on the table. To Mr. Sam, I don't know. You see, this is interesting because Mr. Sam has brought the subnational perspective. I don't know whether the people in this audience are aware that we have established the Nigerians, the diaspora focal point officers in each state of the Federation. In all of the 36 states of the Federation, as we speak with you, there is what we call the diaspora focal point officers. We are not empowered as we speak now to have state offices, but what we did was immediately swing into action and get state governors to appoint cabinet members at the level of either special advisor or commissioner in every state on diaspora issues to liaise with NIDCOM, which also in turn liaises with all of our members of the diaspora outside the country, especially with NIDOE and other important organizations. Now, the reason here is to address what Mr. Sam has just raised. The fact that it is not about coming to Abuja and just dealing with NIDCOM. We believe every member of the diaspora comes from one state or the other. The engagement we are talking about, no matter what kind of engagement, whether it is investment, or whether it is social service, or whether it is transfer of knowledge, or whether it is technology transfer, it has to take place in a particular state of the Federation, including Abuja. And that's the reason why the Commission went ahead to establish the diaspora state focal point officers to provide that liaison with each member of any state and their respective state governments or their respective communities. So it's your choice. If you want to belong to a state, I mean, everybody belongs to a state. If you want to liaise with the state, we can always provide that avenue for you to discuss with your state if you don't have direct contact with them. In the event that you have contact with them, you can deal with them directly and showcase to your state what you can do or the kind of engagement that you want to. And we are always there by your side to support you. A lot of state governors through this diaspora focal point officers have indicated willingness. As I'm talking to you now, I know Enugu State has provided land for diaspora housing. I know Kano State has provided land for diaspora housing. I know Abia State is doing a lot in engaging members of its diaspora in developing the business community. There are a lot of such examples as we speak with you. The FCT is already working on the diaspora medical city. So whether Kebbi State is also dealing with members of the diaspora in developing agriculture and rice production. And as to the best of my knowledge, most of these engagements are not only targeted at only members of the state, like especially the one from Kebbi State, is open to every other Nigerian who wants to invest in rice production in the state. And because he too has been a very good supporter of diaspora and a member of the diaspora himself, he has, he has shown the willingness and the interest to engage with our members of the diaspora to come and develop the agricultural sector in the state, provide land, provide other incentives, and you don't have to necessarily come from the state. So these are some of the initiatives that have been taking place with regards to the issue of diaspora state focal point officers. That has already been established. And as I'm speaking with you now, I think 33 states have signed up to that. And in fact, some states have the level of a commissioner, but almost every state is to the level of a special advisor. We do not accept anything less than that because we want a cabinet officer who can talk directly to the governor in the event that there are issues. That is as regards the issue of state focal point officer. I've spoken again extensively on the issue of engagement. I want to throw up a challenge. If there is anyone who wants NIDCOM to do anything to him or her, whether even on a private level or on a social level, there are a lot of things that NIDCOM is doing. Sometimes it's completely out of its mandate. If you are aware, recently there are a lot of court judgments, some that we felt were not done in following due processes in various parts of the world, that NIDCOM has intervened, and we've ensured justice. In some cases, like in Saudi Arabia, we've actually been able to recover some of our members of the diaspora who are on death row. And such sentences were not only commuted, but they were discharged and acquitted because fair hearing were not given. We have a lot of issues where members of our diaspora are either stranded or have been misjudged or have not been given fair hearing, that NIDCOM has come in to ensure that we give all the necessary support for our members of the diaspora. I am sure almost all of us will agree that a particular narrative is changing. The narrative that used to be before now is that nobody cares about the Nigerian outside the country. But I'm sure in the last 1 year, this narrative that Nigerian lives matter, that the Nigerian is important outside the country, has started to vibrate. And it is making a lot of inroad. If you go to a lot of countries where people used to feel that you can just deal with Nigerians anyhow and leave, it does not hold any longer. And people are being wary of dealing with Nigerians anyhow because they now know that the government comes to their aid and, of course, through NIDCOM and engages with them. So the idea of engagement, we cannot, if I tell you sitting down here that we are tackling, we have 17 million Nigerians on our initial list as we speak with you. 17 million Nigerians, we cannot deal with them all at once in one fell swoop. We cannot go down to meet every one of 17 million Nigerians. But what we are saying is that we are there waiting for you. If you try to engage us, we will respond back. We'll give you the necessary feedback and we will give you the necessary attention and we will act where we have the capacity to do so. That is the assurance I would like to give Mr. Sam and everybody else with regards to the issue of engagement. You know, there are a lot of these issues background. Interestingly, I was a member of the House of Reps. I was a member of the Diaspora Committee. I am incidentally also by the side of my honorable chairman, Honorable Abike Dabiri, drafted the bill for this commission. We know what has been there up until this moment. There is nothing political or anything about it. I think people try sometimes deliberately to create confusion. As far as I am concerned, the agenda, the mission, and the purpose for which this commission is created is straightforward. It's for engagement. We are open for that engagement. Anybody who is willing to come should come in. Interestingly, I mean, whoever that is holding certain offices, wherever, here and there, is a transient issues. The most important thing is that an establishment of the commission has already come to life. Whether we like it or not, it will outlive everybody. The most important thing is for Nigerians to take advantage of it and make use of it as it is established. And I think that is the most important aspect that I would like to point out here. Issues about CBN policies. First of all, let me also correct the notion that these policies are not, and I repeat, are not like targeted directly at the diaspora. But where such policies come in, it affects members of the diaspora. I am sure there was a recent policy in the past where diaspora remittances were now allowed to be paid in the currency in which they are sent. Nobody knew the extent to which a lot of background work took place for that to be achieved. But eventually, I am sure when it was achieved, everybody celebrated. The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission and the Honorable Chairman Abike Dabiri has never relented in engaging with the central bank and any other monetary policy institution of the country in ensuring that we do our best to provide succor and provide support for members of our diaspora in any event where it is going to affect them. But where a policy is a national policy that is looked at for certain reasons, especially as regards the economy of the country, we cannot just directly engage or hit the government, but we will do all our possible best politically and diplomatically to ensure that the interest of our diaspora is protected. And whatever is it that was done, most of the times it is done without actually having that diaspora view in perspective when such policies are being implemented. But whenever it happens, just like Mr. Sam has called for, I appreciate it that Dr. Bashir and his colleagues should make the noise. Of course, making noise only tells the government that, look, something that you're doing is hurting us, and there's nothing wrong about that. So, but in the commission, what we normally do is that whenever such issues are raised, we take it up and engage government as a government institution. And we believe that gives a lot of strength to the argument that is being put forward, and government most of the time listens and acts accordingly. I think these few remarks answers some of the issues raised.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Honorable, we appreciate you taking your time to explain very detailed. Thank you so much. Does Doctor have anything to say? Doctor?
Yes. Thank you so much, Honorable Terab. You know, it's been a pleasure listening to you. And I want to, of course, appreciate and also, confirm what you said in terms of the welcoming NIDCOM, gave me my administration at the reception. It's a very, heartwarming. And I think I need to comment that, and I say publicly that, NIDCOM has actually reached out, has changed, and we are trying as much as possible to do the engagement that we are actually, everybody's expecting. I think all the stakeholders of in diaspora affairs are expecting, the synergy between NIDOE and NIDCOM. And I think we are going there all together. I want to commend the Honorable Abike Dabiri, the way, reaching out to, with friendship and, that collaboration. And I think we will utilize that very maximally as we go on. I want to also talk about the issue about, of course, the Honorable has spoken about the other issues, but the CBN issue, which, Sam was also mentioning that, NIDOE should say something. We actually immediately after that implementation, after that policy was, given out, I want to also, also appreciate Honorable Abike Dabiri. She was worried. She also reached out to the CBN governor, and together, without even, big notices, a meeting was called of leadership of Nigerian diasporas in all over the world. And I was happy to be, invited, of course, with the CBN governor, trying to explain to us what was the intention of that policy, and which, of course, myself as an economist also, I of course understand what they were trying to achieve with that policy, which is also for the economic development of Nigeria. But unfortunately, just like many things in Nigeria, it is only by practice, when things start being implemented, that you see the lapses in some of the system that have been, the assurances have been given up. I can't fully blame the CBN for what is happening now. I think it is, it is a resistance of the system that is making things difficult. Now the diasporans are victim of that, resistance of the MTOs, that is the International Monetary Transfer Agent organizations, like, the Western Union, NIDCOM, all those big transferring. They are the people who are resisting the change. If any of you can remember that before Naira became, banks start giving out Naira as a money equivalent of what you send to your people, it used to be people go there, take their dollar and change it somewhere else. That is what they wanted to restore back, because what they are doing now is making the dollar that we send to Nigeria not reaching the Nigerian economy. And that was why the central bank was trying to, bring a policy whereby the real money will actually go to Nigeria. Instead of a day, doing arbitrage, exchange. But the problem, which I think the central bank should look at, is they shouldn't have limited themselves to that policy of compelling banks to issue out foreign currency. They should also look at the exchange rate. Naira must be allowed to flow, because the problem of trying to control the exchange rate by holding the foreign currency exchange rate and regulating in such a way that now there's a disparity between the parallel, or what we call the parallel market rate, and what the bank is giving. Now, you go to bank will tell you, oh, well, either you come back, we don't have dollar now, come tomorrow, and our people are suffering, just like many people mentioned, and also the NTOs, some of them are also not accepting our money because they say, oh, we cannot give foreign currency. Your government said we should issue out, receiver and give in dollars, but we don't have dollar in Nigeria. So as a result, we cannot take your money. I'm sorry. So those are the problems the diaspora are now being confronted with now. What can NIDOE do? Of course, just like NIDCOM said, we can only, make government realize these lapses in the new policy, and also look at the Naira rate to come to peer to market rate. Because if that happens, the bank will be giving out, even if the bank is giving out Naira, it will be giving out Naira at a rate that the receiver will be comfortable in taking, and not that, you are compelled and people are afraid because of security issue in Nigeria. People collect dollar, take it home, and afraid throughout the night, partying and making and thinking that, oh, maybe some armed robber will come and demand for dollars. So these are the problems which, of course, the peculiarity of Nigerian system is making it difficult, for government to actually achieve what they are achieving. But I think, with the now the understanding that the central bank is also realizing some of these lapses, I think it is time that Naira must be allowed to really reflect its own value, and thereby freeing everybody from this burden of which dollar comes or Naira comes, because the rate will be the same or almost the same as parallel market as the central bank is doing, and that what most countries do, because in some countries also you cannot come and collect dollar, because they will tell you the currency of our economy is euro. So when dollar is sent to you, you'll be giving euro, So I know that's what happens in most countries, but in our Nigerian system, you must always, take into consideration the peculiarity of our system in shaping any policy that you bring on board. And I think that's what, CBN should also know, that is affecting us, actually impacting on the diasporans, and it's not a funny issue. It's very, very serious, and our people are suffering from it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Doctor is always prompt. Doctor, we appreciate adding to that question. This is open now to the honorables here. There's a question from the YouTube side, which has been answered, but there is another one I'm going to rephrase so it can be clearer. It says, there is animosity now between Nigerians in Europe and government officials because of these cases of headsmen and headsmen causing trouble in Nigeria. I'm reading from the question. So can any of the officials please put a light into this? They say there's animosity now between Nigerians in diaspora and Nigeria. The headsmen and the cases of incessant protests in Nigeria. I'm reading from the question. Yes, any of the honorable, can you please put light up something on this?
Okay.
Doctor, do you want to say something? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you very much.
The question from the YouTube side. Yes.
Yeah. Please, we would like to make it very, very clear.
Yes, sir.
That we are only concerned with issues of diaspora and what deals with Nigerians outside the country. And that has any bearing with where one comes from, one's religion or ethnicity. As far as we are concerned, we are all Nigerians, and we are only concerned about Nigerians outside the country. Okay. We will not be boxed into getting into local politics and get diverted from our primary mandate. As far as we are concerned, if there is an issue outside the country that has to do with a Nigerian, we are there and we are willing to respond to it.
Very good.
Nigeria as a country is a government and a federating government for that matter. We have governments at local government levels, state governments, and the federal government with governors, president, and local government chairmen, and many tiers of governors, including representatives. And they are there to deal with issues at that level. That is not our mandate, and we will not like to get ourselves involved. That has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's the prompt. So I know it's hard, it's been hard from the corner the question came from. Yes, yeah. Go ahead, Vincent. Vincent from Italy. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Terab, for your explanation. I understand the statutory constraints your organization may have regarding what the welfare of Nigerians in diaspora. But remember that a Nigerian, a member of this NIDOE, happens to be among the victims of the recent attack by headsmen in Nigeria. Talking about the Mr. Abuda, the guy that came from the United States that attended an event at Edo State. Now, is it proper to say that this does not concern NIDCOM, considering that someone from this organization died in Nigeria, fell victim to the atrocities of the headsmen in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you very much. As you can see very well, that was not the question. And I knew very well I had to make that as a precursor to, hello, can you hear me?
20 hours.
Yes, I can hear you.
We need to make that clear before we now come to our own issues. It involved us. The issue, if you look at it, we were the ones that actually raised a lot of issues about it. And we are the ones that actually, the chairman of this commission, Honorable Abike Dabiri, please go through, you can just Google it. You will see a lot of comments she has made about it. You will see a lot of concerns that she raised about it.
That's right.
And you will see that she has demanded that justice must be done. Despite the fact that our mandate internally, as I keep saying, our mandate internally is not as strong as our mandate outside the country. But despite that, the Commission has descended to ensure that our members of the diaspora should not be discouraged from coming into the country, participating in either social, economic, or political events. And at the same time, their safety has to be ensured, because what we are trying to do, just like you've rightfully said, is about the welfare of Nigerians in the diaspora. And the absolute welfare of the Nigerian in diaspora, not only outside the country, but inside the country, is important to us, because if you don't guarantee that, the idea of relating Nigerians in the diaspora to the country and making them intervene in the political, social, and economic development of the country cannot be achieved. And that has been made clear, and NIDCOM in no way has it found it unnecessary to take charge, and it has been doing so, and it has said, and that's not the only issue, even because that is even a high-profile case. We have a lot of lower-profile cases, people that are not in any position in NIDOE or any organization that have been attacked, and NIDCOM, go through the archives, you will see that we have never left it, and we've taken it seriously, and we are not going to play with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, hands are going up. Our time also. Yes, go ahead, Vincent.
You muted yourself.
Sorry. Vincent from Germany. Go ahead.
Vincent or Victor?
Oh, Victor. Sorry, Victor, I mean, sorry. Victor from Germany. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Brother Mark. And I also want to use this opportunity to thank our two gentlemen from NIDCOM. My problem is something to do with the insecurity in our country. Most of us that lives here abroad, we have the intention of going back home, maybe to do one or two little things in our own way to contribute to our economy, as regards investment. You will agree with me that the situation prevailing back home has been an impediment, and it has really been doing a lot to, to scare away, Nigerian investors and international investors as well. According to this musician, I said that a house is not a home when there is no one there. I can't imagine myself having stayed abroad for donkey years, coming back home with my hard-earned cash to try to, better the economy, to, at least provide employment for one or two people back home in order to help to reduce the burden on the burden on their family. And I don't feel secured in the environment where I have my investment. It's not even guaranteed that the money I'm pumping into what I'm doing is going to be secured. That really scared me of what role is the NIDCOM playing as regards talking to the Nigerian government about this insecurity that is really driving away investors in our country. This is what I would want to know, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. Of course, there is no gainsaying the fact that insecurity has become a major scar in the current annals of the country. However, like I keep saying, the best we can do is to advocate at our level. But it is very, very important for members of the diaspora to understand the mandate of NIDCOM, notwithstanding the fact that we can go out of our boundaries and still do the needful where it is necessary. And we've been doing that. The issue of insecurity is a general issue in the country. I believe the appropriate agencies are responsible for it and are trying their best, to the best of my knowledge. How one rates that is entirely a different issue. But as far as we are concerned, like we kept saying, first and foremost, we need to mobilize our members of the diaspora. Insecurity itself is a concern, just like many other concerns before insecurity. We have economic issues, we have political issues, we have a lot of social problems. The entire essence of setting up the Nigerians in diaspora is to collaborate with our members of the diaspora. I made that clear at the very beginning of the opening statement, that the Nigerians in the diaspora are our third eye. What we mean by that is that actual development normally rarely takes place with only people who are from the inside. You need people from the outside to give that external perspective. Some of you are in some regions that were bedeviled by some of such insecurities, and some of these regions overcame it. That is an experience, that is a capacity, and it is rare. That's the reason why what you have is actually what is going to help to develop the country the way it is now. Most of us believe that the next Nigeria depends on the input from members of its diaspora. It is a general concern, and let us also agree that probably most of the solutions that have been provided so far, economically, politically, socially, and now security-wise, may have been homegrown solutions. And what we need now are external solutions from our own people. Before now, what we used to have, even in the investment sectors, interestingly enough, let me make mention of that part of the programs the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission has set up from inception, from coming in, is the Nigerian Diaspora Investment Summit. Last year in November, we've held the third in its series, and the essence is to bring Nigerians who are in the diaspora to give them opportunities in the country to invest. And such opportunities now brings up, such events brings up or throws up all these questions on what can we do to ensure not only the safety of the individuals, but the security of the businesses or investments that are going to be put in place in most parts of the country. I don't also want to go to another level where you might also say in some cases, security still continues to be relative in every part of the world. In the case of Nigeria, it is now a major concern. Everybody is talking about it. Nobody is shying away from the fact that that is a major concern for our economy, it's a major concern for our political and social existence as a country, and it has to be resolved. Nobody is shying away from that. But what we are now saying is that members of the diaspora have an age. Some of them who have some certain experiences that can contribute to the development of the country. It is the engagement as far as we are concerned that we are concerned about. It is a problem. Thank God that you've now noticed that that is a problem. What we need is, from your own perspective, give us that external perspective. What can we do to engage our government? One thing I can assure you, especially of the personality of my chairman, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, is that she doesn't shy away from meeting or contacting anybody in government to tell them the home truth. Dr. Bashir made mention of a particular meeting we had with the governor of Central Bank of Nigeria. That meeting did not only stop at the issue of remittances and currency. It also went ahead to seek how it can provide support for diaspora investments who will now be willing to come into the country to invest. It has now opened that window. It is now doing its own research. It has promised to give us a feedback on what kind of efforts it's going to put in place. Just like every other support it is giving to every other sector in the country, we want a support specifically for members of the diaspora to come in. Now, this kind of support is now going to provide a low risk engagement into the Nigerian economy and into the investment sector. So where you are scared, you want to take your own hard-earned money, we want to see, why won't you keep your hard-earned money in a place that you believe is very, very safe? Take a part of it, come and use what the central bank can also provide, your low yield, low interest, with a lot of other incentives, and try and see if it works. It is a risk. In any kind of investment is a risky venture. But what we are trying to do is to reduce the risk, is to reduce the involvement as much as we are concerned. These current circumstances are not things that diaspora here will sit down and tell you, I'm in control of the security security situation in Nigeria and I'm going to resolve it for you, come tomorrow. But what can we do in the prevailing circumstances to ensure that we have other alternatives of ensuring safe and redeemable investments into the country? And that is what we are doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Prompt. Yes, the hands are going up. That's Matthew from Bedford, UK. Ogaraku, go ahead. Unmute your phone.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and my special regard and respect to members of NIDCOM that have come to meet us today. Please, thank you for coming. This is a family meeting, and we are happy we are in this enduring environment. I won't want to take much long of it. I want to say that the situation that most diasporans are facing in different embassies in their resident countries has not been fair enough. Renewal of passport takes a lot of time, even sometimes to get somebody to respond to you from the embassy takes ages. Just like the speaker, Honorable Tarab, kind of encouraged that what we expect in Nigeria, that most of the issues in Nigeria has been kind of handled by the in-home grown ideas, that sometimes what is needed now is a kind of diaspora ideas to help there. I want as well to suggest that the issue of handling diasporans affairs in the embassy here may not necessarily be that homegrown ideas. It can as well be foreign grown ideas. In most of the countries we are in Europe here, you don't go to the embassy even for your passport, because you have ways of authenticating your ID, you have a way of authenticating your signatures, you have a way of authenticating everything at your residence. Then what you do is to fill the form, collect the form from the post office, fill the form, send it to the embassy verifies it where it's supposed to be, and send it back to you. Why should we always be making long way journeys to one embassy? We normally have one or two maximum in countries of a large, as you may know, and people will come from even where there's opportunities to have even the appointment. You come from all the way, spend all the money, all this or that. While this can also be a way of saving for even the citizens. What I'm trying to say, first of all, is that the atmosphere in most of our embassies are not fair as regard to what is expected of diaspora who are here witnessing something, a different way of life. And then we are forced to go back into the system. So a chaotic system, let me put it this way, that has been there. What are we doing to change the atmosphere and the treatment in our embassies? Second, I think the most, first of all, let me use this because they said the best example is with yourself. I lived in another country before I came in here. Fortunately, I was a counselor in Padova, Italy for 7 years, representing sub-Saharan Africans of 44 countries. And one of the things, every other time attempt was made for migrants to vote in the country, what they did was to make sure that the Italians in diaspora gets a better advantage. The Italians in diaspora vote while the migrants doesn't vote until you get citizenship. So what the best way to engage migrants in Nigerian affair, or the way Nigerians can recognize the diasporans as being part of the country, is if we have a kind of voting right. How can we be able to work on this direction? Yes, I understand what you said, and I agree with you. It is a new formation around the year, with even the circumstance of a pandemic, all this law. But I want to say, how can we do? In fact, when I was the secretary of the Nigerian community down there, we made a lot of write-ups to the House of Assembly over this issue. Sometimes some people, some treatment or some meetings have been held, but it has always been held down without any consideration, serious consideration to that. Is it anything wrong? Is it not the trend of the day? So I'm trying to say, this is your good office, who has even more better access to the system, can help us to create a room for the migrants to vote. because they are citizens. In fact, we are more concerned to what is happening in our country than where we are. Despite some of us are citizens here and can participate effectively here, just like I've said where I was. However, our interest is more in our home country. At the end of the day, nobody wants to live here and die here. We want to come home one day and be part of the system. And when things we learned here can be used, just like the speaker rightly said. So we want a way to make sure that the canal is created for right and correct engagement into the system economically, politically, even security-wise. And once this are done, honestly, one of the issues we have in over down there is that when you are down there and so one look at your face immediately, most of the security agent, and they know this person is not from Nigeria, and what they expect from you is something different. Before you know it, you go into the situation, instability we know very much about. So I am trying to say that your good office, working with NIDOE, will help us to create such good canal to come in, and then this is the only way we can one of the ways we can benefit from the what do you call it, endowment of the diaspora citizens who are willing to be part of our system. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Well, it was a long question anyway. I hope the Honorable had it.
There are two major questions here. It's about the fair process of obtaining renewal of passports and the issue of diaspora voting. Thank you very much, Mr. Victor Garaku, for these very important questions that actually have been in the front burner of diaspora issues in the country. Let me start by saying that I think first and foremost, we have to take away any pretense that things are good in this country and nothing is wrong with the process. I think that is the pretense, because that is where we are coming from. If things were good, we will not be here to say we want to correct things and make them better. So accepted that there is a problem with passport renewals across the board in most consulates. But what has been taking place in the last 1 year, I think is what is most important. That there is a lot of engagement with our passport renewal processes across various consulates, wherever we have issues with our missions and with our members of the diaspora, with our citizens, we have intervened to the best of my knowledge. There are issues where maybe it could be isolated, or maybe the Commission's attention has not been drawn, or where actually in some cases we cannot say it's foolproof that we have intervened in everyone and it is successful. But all I am saying is that there is a changing trend. If it is important also, before I go further, to reiterate the fact that kindly, as we have taken time to attend such events about Nigeria and Nigerians in the diaspora, let me also urge you on behalf of my chairman and the rest of the country to please get involved. Get, at least, even if it is once in a week, open, you have, almost all of you have internet accesses. Well, you can Google up things that Nigeria is doing with regards to some of these issues. And I am sure, just by Googling now, as you are speaking, I was Googling, and you will see a lot of efforts that have been taking place in various missions where this issue of a fair process of renewal of passports are being addressed, specifically by the Controller General of the Nigerian Immigration Services. And of course, a lot of our ambassadors and mission heads have been trying as much as possible to see that most of this red tape and bureaucracies are cut off. And of course, like in most other things that we do in this country, it has been archaic, but we have to ensure that we have to depart from that archaic to international best practices, and of course to current trends. And I believe there are some people, some consulates have already taken the lead, without the fear, at the risk of being, sounding contradictory, but the fact of the matter is that places like Canada, to the best of my knowledge, have led the way, and there are some few other countries that are now leading the way. And I must applaud at this juncture the effort of the current Controller General of Immigration in trying to ensure that the process is completely reformed and addresses the need. I am sorry I cannot sit down here and tell you that it is addressed across the board, but as far as we are concerned, we will continue to engage. Ours is to engage. We don't give the passports. We are not empowered to do that. In fact, we are completely from different mother ministries, but we have engaged, and to the best of my knowledge, the chairman of the commission has met with the Controller General over 3 or 4 times on these issues. And we have addressed a lot, and we are addressing more as we proceed. Let me say it, that it is not an overnight process. It is not a magic wand, but we will get there, sir. Nothing has been perfect, but we want to perfect it. And I appreciate that concern. The second issue is about diaspora voting. And that was one of the reasons why I said, let's once in a while get engaged with what is happening in the country. In the last 1 year, the effort is not only being put in place, but the effort has yielded results, sir. I don't know if you've listened to the INEC chairman. Immediately he was resworn in. That was the first statement he made, that this time he is going to ensure that diaspora voting comes to life. The commission, right from inception, has stood by that. It has, sponsored or rather organized a lot of events. We have bypassed a lot of issues. We are silent about some of these things. We don't want to bring them to the fore, because if you know, at a point in time, at the National Assembly, it was even thrown out. Nobody knew how we got it back. Nobody knew how the same place it was thrown out, it is now scaling. These are the issues. The commission is doing a lot of this, but beyond that, we have created the necessary awareness. We have thrown away a lot of fears that people ab initio created just to create confusion about diaspora voting and the consequences it may have on whatever. As far as we are concerned, we are succeeding in that, and we would like you to join us on board, follow us, and get to understand some of the things that are happening, and encourage us. Where you have any ideas or comments or support that you give us, please let us have it so that we can put it into this same agenda and ensure that at best, if we cannot achieve it in the next 3 or 4 years, at least before the next major elections, our members of the diaspora can be able to vote. That has been on the front burner, and I think we have succeeded in bringing a lot of key players on board to agree and to execute that successfully. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. There's a thumbs up for you for the prompt as a response. Yes, Benedict, go ahead.
Yes, good evening, brothers and sisters in the house. I so much appreciate this our meeting. As a representative of Schengen News in Nigeria, I will actually want to thank and congratulate our visitors, the NIDCOM, Honorable Tara, and Gabriel Odo. I remember when I was aspiring for House of Representative 2011, Gabriel Odo was like somebody too key to me. I always call him so often that, he should communicate my mind. And actually, I'm happy to see him as a member of the NIDCOM. So I appreciate you people so much. I so do appreciate. Gabriel Odo, if you can remember those days, yes, but let me not pass this. I want to say this. What is in collaboration? What effort has the NIDCOM been able to do to make a direct synergy with the NIDOE? Not only NIDOE, I think, you see, in diaspora, we have millions of Nigerians all over the world. We are saying that the achievement for now is very, very minute. It's so small, very, very minimal that we can, count and then put to bear. You just made mention of diaspora voting. We are not supposed to be talking of diaspora voting. We are supposed to be talking about the data, a synthetic collection of every Nigerian living outside the country, first of all, before we know that, yes, we are a government. That is one. Secondly, I am looking at, is it possible if we're able to do this that Dora Akunyele did when she was an information minister, setting up a diaspora desk in every of the commission, will I call it a consular outside the country, all over. if we talk about diaspora, it's not only Europe, it's not only US, it's not only Canada, it's not even Ghana. From Ghana, it's all about diaspora. So we are looking at, see, the numbers of diasporans is enough to contribute to the meaningful development of all that we needed in this country, not only in agriculture, economic policies, and lot of them that we are too numerous to mention. I want you to look at this. Honorable Stanap, there is something you said here. I actually wanted to ask, what is your network? What they call your network on expansion policies? When I talk about this, I don't know. I actually do not want to go into this nitty-gritty very well, because I believe that if there is a network of expansion in the states, 36 states, the NIDCOM is supposed to create a desk in any of the information office, that is a ministry, either for every state or indigene of that state that is living outside the country, of the day-to-day information that has to do with their well-being and every other thing that has to do with diasporans. We should be looking at this. The NIDCOM is supposed to come and make up an office. The office is not big, is not large enough to get all these things together, at least to be able to get everything that we needed. Not to talk of diaspora voting that our electoral body have started talking and negotiating now. It is too much. It is so big that can be handled if it doesn't start from NIDCOM here. First of all, database. Somebody raised that question. I remember yes. our coordinator here raised that, said somebody was asking, what is the database of Nigerians living? You are saying 70 million. How many? 7 million. It's far above these numbers. It's far above. Ordinarily, in America alone, if we start mentioning the numbers of Nigerians who are in, it's above 6 million. Go back, make your research, and then you find out, not to talk of the whole of Europe. The whole of Europe. Nigerians basically are occupiers of every this thing outside the country. And we have professionals in different fields. These are the people we are supposed to be tapping before we now get into the other numbers of people who are like doing menial jobs and others. All these things, we need to have them, so that if we want to grow this country and even want to expand on what we call the development, like foreign investment, other things, if we're not able to key to all these people that disseminate information outside the country, we will not be able to get exactly what we are going to be doing as in economic development in our country, or even bringing in foreigners in this place. Now, I want to say this state database is very, very important about Nigerians who are living in diaspora. If that is done, every governor that we have said that is trying to do something in about development, they should key in finding out how many of their state indigenous are living at which place they are. It's enough job, it's enough employment to be created in Nigeria. It's enough resources that can be brought in back to Nigeria in one way or the other to improve certain areas of the economy. That is that. Then finally, I want to say this. I'm at the liberty to say that, you see, it is very unfortunate that the policy of the government that we have, it is not something to write home about. By the time we begin to readdress the policies and even make a decision before the policies come out, then we will now be sure that, yes, that is somewhere that Nigeria is going. As far as we are concerned, and as a Nigerian, and as I am in this country now, I don't see things that are, possibly to say that things are going well, or is going to be normalized, or is going to be improved in this country as it is. So please, the people in the NIDCOM, pass this message to the chairman of the NIDCOM. And again, it has to be enhanced. The meeting has to be enhanced. Not only about NIDCOM, the Nigerian government has to come in fully to concentrate on the potentials for us to harness on this diasporans, diaspora voting, diaspora economy, diaspora businesses, diaspora health, diaspora, everything that has to do with it. This is just the little I can say. If there was time, I would have said more about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Benedict, for very passionate observations that you have raised. And I love the passion, and I believe that is what we need to drive us to the promised land. First of all, let me again reiterate the fact that we are not a perfect system. As a matter of fact, we are far from that. As a matter of fact, let's assume, and that's the reality, that things are not, and that is where we are starting from. So I don't want to give any feelings that things are very well and excellent, and then of course nothing is wrong. So from that, we have discussed, I don't know whether you joined us a bit late, we have discussed extensively about the engagements with NIDOE and and every other organization across the world. We said it is a two-way, it's a reciprocal relationship. We will try as much as possible to relate, I mean, to collaborate, to that is, we'll try as much as possible to attend to issues before us. It is not possible within 1 year to deal with everybody at the same time, but we also expect that where situations are up, we should be engaged. And we have made a commitment here that our doors are open to listen to anybody and to also address issues as they come. So we are partners in this. Every Nigerian is a partner in this, is a stakeholder who is in the diaspora. And it doesn't even have to be an organization. Even if it is an individual and there is something that we believe that has value, we must get into it and we must do what is expected of us. We are all human. There is an extent to which we can be able to attend to things, but I'm assuring you that we will do our best. What is left is only for posterity to judge this very time on whether those who have handled this situation have done their best at the time. So it's not time for us to celebrate or what you call it, try to put out what especially the chairmanship of Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa is doing. But the reality of the matter is that to the best of her ability and the management's ability and the commission's ability, they attend to issues as they come, because that is how, again, that is also the prelude for establishing the database itself. Now let's come to the issue of the database. We are collaborating with various organizations across the world. The 17 million, we didn't say, it's not 7 million, it's 17 million. 17. We came up with 17 million with the what do you call it? The IOM, the International Office for Migration, PricewaterhouseCoopers, NOMAD, and the World Bank. Now, at the best, these are agencies that we believe that are global in nature and have certain data to start up with. We have to start somewhere. We cannot just flash the whole of the world and pick members of Nigeria who are in the diaspora. It is interesting. You are not the only one who is saying we are more than that. I have been an advocate of the fact that Nigerians in the diaspora far exceeds that. But one other challenge as we came down to the nitty-gritty is you cannot force people to identify. What we have always believed in is do something positive and people will come naturally. And that is what we've been trying to do, to ensure that once there is something positive, you find Nigerians that will naturally belong, naturally want to identify with the country. Most of these problems you're saying is the reason why, with all due respect, some of us left. And so if it is rosy ab initio, it wouldn't have been what you're talking about. Exactly. But the narrative is changing. A country that does not, used to scorn at, and I'm very, very positive about that because I did all the public hearings in the build-up to establishment of this commission. A country that used to scorn at its own who are living outside, oh, you bought this one, that one. It has been a very negative perspective. It's been as if once you're outside the country, you're doing something wrong. We have changed the narrative. We have not only changed the narrative, but we are now ensuring to make everybody believe that we don't only need the diaspora, but they are the future. I repeat, they are the future in the development of our nation. We have made a positive outlook of them. We have given them the respect that they deserve. And that is how across the board, in every state of the Federation, we have ensured that focal persons, diaspora focal persons are established by governors at the level of a cabinet officer, either a special advisor or a commissioner. That has already been done. We have had 2 conferences coming up to this moment. One was done in February. Another one was done around, I think, November or December last year, just to give that, attach that importance that, look, every state governor needs to bring his or her diaspora, needs to mobilize them, needs to have that data as moving. Now, the issue is that, like I said, there are a lot of positive things. In Enugu, there is already a housing estate for members of the diaspora. In Kano, there is already a land for members of the diaspora to acquire free to build a house. If you are a member of the diaspora in Kano, if anybody is here in Kano, let him please just go to the diaspora focal person officer in Kano State. He or she has the land for free to build a house. And such incentives are spreading. Governors have started competing with each other on what kind of things are we going to do, not only to attract, but also to ensure that we create the necessary incentives for those who are our own to identify with us. I think I will not label you with that, but that narrative is changing, and largely due to the efforts of the Commission in just 1 year. In just 1 year. It is not perfect. We have not gotten to the promised land. We are far from there, but we are heading towards that. So as we speak with you, we have set up a lot of avenues across the board. In fact, we are engaging with almost every organization in developing data as we speak with you now. Most people are sending in data, but you see, the problem with creating data is that you need to understand that there are privacy issues, there are contractual issues, there are agreements that you have to honor in not only developing the data, but managing the data. So we are not, as of yet, up to the point where we will now throw out data of Nigerians and tell everybody that this is what we have in every nook and cranny of the world. But we know we are developing data, and we are getting to that point where we must ensure that all the fine lines or the fine prints have been signed, so that we can now comfortably say that Mr. A, B, and C has agreed to be identified as a member of diaspora in so-so clime or in so-so country. We are getting to that. But like I said, it is good that we continue with this very passion as we move forward. The issue of diaspora desk officers in various consulates and in almost every organization of government. One thing, please, let me make this known. One thing that the chairman of the Diaspora Commission, Honorable Abike Dabiri, did as she came in was to establish one of the first desks that I know of, was to establish a desk in EFCC. And you might not understand why that is so. It is because one of the #1 problems we have is about Nigerians who are in the diaspora, who have suffered and toiled and raised their monies, sent monies back home for their loved ones or for their brothers and sisters to build houses and invest in certain businesses for them, and end up such monies getting disappeared. And the worst part is that there is no redress. You don't have any place to go and complain. Nobody will be able to follow up for you and ensure that, your rights are followed up for you. That was the beginning. We started with EFCC, and then we went into health ministry. Because in health ministry, we have a lot of doctors who are in the diaspora who come home for, for missions to help their communities back home. So we realized that there were a lot of bottlenecks. Members of the diaspora who are in the medical sector who want to come and contribute to the nation's health sector get a lot of hiccups, and sometimes they get discouraged. We set up in the Ministry of Health. Likewise, in many other ministries. Now, of course, the commission itself is empowered by policy, and I'm making that clear. It's empowered by law, we are empowered to have continental offices. But by policy, we have now been empowered to have desk officers in every consulate or every mission of the world. But we have our own administrative challenges. And this is because those who are manning the offices as we speak with you currently are not staff of the commission. Because the commission is new, it has not gotten to that stage yet. Other members of other ministries are helping us to man some of these offices, liaising with them, getting directives to them, ensuring that our directives are followed are a challenge. But we believe we are overcoming that, and we will ensure that over time, we will get the necessary resources to get to ensure that our members, that our diaspora desk officers are available in all missions. Of course, the network of diaspora in 36 states, like we keep saying, our focal point officers are there. And then, of course, we have a list of them. I believe we have pasted them on our website. If you go to our website, you will find the list of our members of our focal point officers and their contacts for you to talk to anyone. And I made mention of that earlier. I don't know whether you heard us, that in some of the states, you don't even have to be an indigenous of that state for you to contact them. Because some of the states are now open for any member of the diaspora to come and invest or to collaborate with the state government, and they are willing to do that. And then also, the last, but not the least, and which is also the most important to me, is the issue of getting engaged, getting our members of the diaspora engaged. Without holding brief to the current president, Muhammadu Buhari, I believe one thing that has been ensured so far through the life of his government is that in every country he goes, we try to ensure that we have a town hall meeting or a meeting with members of the diaspora in that country, whichever country he visits. That to us is a beginner for engagement. But most importantly, sometimes there is this narrative as if only those who are in the country actually participate in governance. I would like you to take your pen and paper and go through the list of most political appointees as we speak with you here in this country. And you will get to realize that a number of them are members of the diaspora, and you will not believe it, sincerely speaking. You will only have to take your pen and paper. Whether that is the best of our representation is your own judgment. But the reality of the matter is that members of the diaspora now, more often now than before, are being engaged in the governance of the country. And it all depends on how they display themselves and the kind of network they do. This engagement issue are individual issues. If you want to participate in the political system of the country, it's your country. There are no boundaries. It only depends on how you can be able to play your game. But we all know that every politics is local. So you have to, the Nigerian Diaspora Commission cannot drag you down to your locality and ensure that your people accept you. It is your responsibility to ensure that you engage with your people. You do the right things and then ensure that the political process accepts you. As far as we are concerned, I believe we are encouraging that. We're encouraging political participation. We're encouraging that the government appreciates and acknowledges our members of the diaspora and gives them federal appointments and state appointments at various levels for us to see what they can be able to do in the space of governance in Nigeria. And I think to that extent, just pick your pen and paper and you'll be amazed at the number of Nigerians who are currently serving in this government that are from the diaspora. Thank you very much.
Wow. Honorable Tira, you are breaking the ice. You are obviously opening our eyes to some facts and some things we probably didn't know before. Thank you so much, sir. Honorable, we appreciate you. There are comments coming in from different corners, thanking you. There's somebody saying kudos to Honorable Tirab for his approach in responding to questions and issues. Somebody also said, he said, I agree with you, sir. The Honorable is on top of his job and has given very impressive account of what he's doing. So we really do appreciate you, sir. What we are doing again today is opening this link between NIDCOM and Nigerians in Europe. So don't be offended with some of the questions because it is out of passion, like you observe. It is also out of that interest we have for our beloved country, Nigeria. There has never been a time better than this in the history of Nigerians in diaspora. A time when there is an awakening, an awareness, and Nigerians in diaspora believe, like you've also observed, that we can make that great change, that we can be part of that great change in our home country, Nigeria. So because of this, we are excited. We are happy to have you with us. And we hope that there will be more of such engagement in the future as time goes on. So I won't want to take much time. There are so many questions, honorables. There are so many questions from Facebook, from the YouTube, but it will take our day. So what I will do is I will probably collate them all and send to the email of NIDCOM. Now for here, I will take one last question on the platform here. Please, one last question and make it brief, make it simple, and go ahead. Kata and Maja from the UK, go ahead. Your hands have been up since.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mark. It's my great pleasure. I do really appreciate our August visitors, dear fellow Nigerians at NIDCOM. My name is Godson Azu. I'm the Welfare, Social and Event Officer of NIDOE Europe. And I'm very glad that a lot has been discussed before now. But two things I want to put forward to our NIDCOM officials here, and it's very critical, important. One is, what are we hoping and looking forward to see in the next coming months in this year with the actual formation or the actual constituting of NIDCOM board as a formal constituted institution, because by law, the institution is supposed to be governed by a board, and up 2 years in going now, it's still being run without a board. We are looking forward to a more formidable NIDCOM with its legal constituted board. That is one. Two, in as much as one of the strongest remits of NIDCOM is to ensure the inflow of diasporan investment and developmental strands in Nigeria and the homecoming of most Nigerians in the diaspora. And one of the key factors here is ensuring their safety, ensuring their economic well-being, ensuring that they are well guided whenever they find themselves in Nigeria, either for investment purpose or social engagements. What is NIDCOM doing at this moment to establish at least 2 desk offices at the international airport at Lagos and Abuja, which is the 2 most trafficked airport of most Nigerian diasporans coming home, to signpost them and to give them adequate information on arrival. Those who notice NIDCOM sign at the airport will approach to find information about what is happening in Nigeria through NIDCOM, and how to find NIDCOM office either in any state they are going, or who they can be in touch with in any state they are traveling to from Lagos or from Abuja. Is NIDCOM thinking towards that as part of what they need to do beyond just engaging on state levels or whatever? Establishing desk office that is very critical and very potential for most diasporans returning or coming back home at airport in Lagos and Abuja. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Godwin, for very important questions. The first question is about the constitution of the NIDCOM board. This is a policy issue. We are the ones in the ship, and we will not be responsible for those who actually make up the outside of the ship. Those who steer the government and the policymakers are responsible for that. We are not responsible for it. So we believe that the issues have been raised previously, and I believe it is what you call it, receiving the necessary attention. However, that does not stop raising issues like this with the appropriate agencies of government who are responsible for establishing the board. It's a policy issue. I hope that is clear. Then secondly, as regards the issue of airport desk officers, it is very interesting. As we speak with you, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, I was actually in company of the Honorable Chairman Abike Dabri, who went and solicited for spaces to be provided for NIDCOM in all of the international airports of the country. And as I speak with you, I am privy to the fact that the managing director of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria have granted us approval to open up spaces in both Lagos, Murtala Mohammed International Airport and the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja for us to have these spots where we will provide all sort of guidance services, as you have just very well enunciated, to our members of the diaspora as they come into the country. That is already been done, and I believe that any moment from now, maybe in a very short while, Nigerians coming into the country will be given the opportunity to meet our desk officers at the two important airports and going forward at the rest of the international airports into the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I won't want to hold the officers so that you can go into other activities for the day. But I will want our mommy, Barrister Habibat, we want to hear, let's take a message home to other Nigerians, because most of us here are representative of our various community in Europe. What will you say to Nigerians in the diaspora to give them an assurance, a gladdening heart, and something to make them feel relaxed, because we all have families in Nigeria, and when we read the news, some of the news are not too pleasant. So can you give one or two words, and we wrap it up for today. Barrister Habibat, please.
Okay, thank you very much. And I want to thank Honorable Terap for taking us all through and for giving the full explanation, detailed explanation for the Nigerians in diaspora to understand the commission and the mandate of the commission. And I want to also let you know that the NIDCOM, the link, apart from the one you have, I will send you other link where you can check NIDCOM activities, and also where you can also see the newsletter, where activities of NIDCOM are in the newsletter every month. And I'll send you that link. And I want to say that in line with what the president have said, his 3-point agenda, he said Nigerians, wherever they are, they should be good ambassadors. That is by respecting the laws of that country. They should excel in whatever they do. And I can tell you that NIDCOM is telling the world positive things about Nigerians in the diaspora, not what we used to hear in the past. So we want to commend the Nigerians in diaspora that we have to blow our trumpet. We have to tell the story. Nobody will tell it for us. So NIDCOM is telling the story, is reporting. Nigerians in diaspora, they've done a lot. They've done this, they've done that. And we want the world to know that more Nigerians in diaspora are into positive things that are yielding investment, even in the countries where they are. And also we want to let them know that they should remember home, wherever they are, because from all the questions I have listened to today, I can see that, yes, they are interested, they are following up on what is happening at home. And we are not resting on our oars. We're just a year and some months, and we are doing this, and we are calling on them to also engage with us and assist us. We're going to do a lot of advocacy because it's like some don't even know there's NIDCOM, not to talk of what the mandate of NIDCOM is.
Yes.
We're going to do a lot of advocacy, disseminate information to all the countries, through the missions and consuls, and to let them know that Nigerians in diaspora is for them. And we are ever ready. We have a chairman and a chief executive officer who is ready to respond to their needs, their welfare. The other questions they were talking about security, it will be addressed holistically. We are all here in Nigeria. We see what is happening, but the government is trying to see how that can be at least eradicated. We also need your ideas. We need you to tell us. That is why we need the diaspora. They are the future. Tell us what is not done right. Tell us, how do you want us to do it? We are all here. We'll listen to you. Send us emails. You can call us on the phone, and we're ever ready to respond to your needs. So
thank you.
I want to say that the Nigerians in diaspora should continue in their good work. They should continue to raise the flag of Nigeria high. They should continue to be the Nigerians they have been, and we are proud of them.
Thank you very much. In that view, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Nigerians in Europe, Schengen zone. Oh, sorry, my daddy is there. Dr. Bashir, sorry, sir. Honorable, can you come forward and give a last submission?
All right, thank you. Very briefly, well, I want to thank the NIDCOM for coming. I knew, that despite the fact that the chairman, CEO, Honorable Abike Dabiri is bereaved, she was concerned and she wanted to actually make sure that even she's not here physically, that it's, able staff will be able to come and explain what NIDCOM is doing. And I think I'm happy for, the quality of people that represented NIDCOM today. Yeah. And I think with this type of synergy and openness, I think diaspora will build confidence. I know that all what we're demanding, I think it is the whole Nigerian that has demanded this. This is because of accumulated failed promises of the past regimes from independence to date. People are tired of promises, and as a result, they don't believe government until things are done and they see it being done. That is the reason. That is also affects all agencies. NIDCOM, as if it's been there for years. The way people are related to it, we know that it is just a parastatal that is still establishing itself. She's trying to mingle around the corners and the hooks and all the tongues in the system to make sure that its mandate is is very firm and delivered. And I think that's why I say the partnership with NIDOE, being an organization already on ground, abroad, will be useful in this aspect. That's has to say with, of course, I know NIDCOM is not responsible for the constitution of the governing board of the organization of the commission, but we can also facilitate. We also know that the focal point, the focal officers at the missions outside the country could actually be used. NIDOE could actually play that role. That is actually what will reduce the cost of maintaining the commission. That's what we're expecting, that NIDOE officers should be able to be empowered to represent NIDCOM, in our missions, because currently what happens is that the missions actually have officers in charge of diaspora affairs, but they are officers, so they protect themselves. They have this, comrade, the spirit that they have, that even when we complain to them, it's the same officer that we are complaining against that is also in charge of diaspora affairs. So what we should do is to have an independent, people, focal officers, like, from the we call it, the civil diplomat, you can say people's diplomat, that is, representing the people's voice, which is NIDOE, to be empowered by NIDCOM to represent, so that whenever there are complaints, you know who to go to, without going to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs officers, who will always protect themselves. But if you go to NIDCOM officer or somebody representing NIDCOM, you will know that issues will be resolved because they will know that there is third eye looking at them. So let us all work together. We will surely be, as we move on, NIDCOM grows. We, Diaspora, NIDOE also need assistance. I'm not saying NIDOE is perfect already, but we need assistance also. That's what I tell the chairman, that we need assistance also. Don't look at us as what we had now, but look at what was intended. Just like the way we are looking at NIDCOM now and what was intended for it, we also look at NIDOE as what was intended, and how to strengthen NIDOE to make sure that it's actually representative enough. It's actually, carrying people along and working for the good of Nigeria, because that is the mission. So I thank you once again for giving us this platform. Again, I've been speaking good of you, and I think it's also one that's also encouraged the NIDCOM people to come. That you are a platform that we can participate in.
Thank you very much.
And I think we should continue to do that. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable, as our chairman. Any last submission from the officers? Do we have any last comment you want to make? Where is Mr. Gabriel Odu? Mr. Gabriel, are you there?
Unmute yourself, Gabe.
All right, okay. Maybe he
has to unmute himself, because
he has to unmute himself. Okay. Yes, Honorable Terap. Yes, go ahead, sir. You want to say something?
No. I will rather appreciate once again, yes. Just like Barrister Habiba has already said everything, and I would like to appreciate this opportunity to liaise and to engage with members of the diaspora, specifically with members of the diaspora who are in Europe. And just to tell you that no platform is too small for this kind of engagement. Yes. And you can see that the more the engagement takes place, the more we understand that we have common destiny, exactly. And that we are all pursuing a common purpose. Yes. And the essence, as far as I am concerned, is partnership. That's and right. I would like to assure you of the Honorable Chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Honorable Abike Dabri's personal commitment and willingness to ensure that the purposes for which all this is being set up is achieved at the end of the day. As far as we are concerned, like she always keeps saying, nobody is saying that this is established for Nigerians in diaspora to come back home. No, we are here only to celebrate you and to ensure that by celebrating you, you will not forget home. And that is the essence. Like we all know, most growing developing countries now, and in fact, some of the most developed, as much as Israel, have the diaspora component in achieving their current status. In China, in India, the list is endless. And there is nothing wrong in Nigeria emulating the same path. And we believe we have what it takes. We believe we are well positioned this time around. All we need is to unite and have that common purpose, that whatever the differences, it shouldn't becloud our sense of judgment and our focus, just like Dr. Bashir has very adequately pointed out, that the purpose for which we are created shall be the main thing at the back of our minds. It's not where we are or who does what. The most important thing is that so long as we are here, we can be able to look at the purpose and set our goals and achieve the target. I believe we'll get out of the woods, and all these smaller problems that we find around that are confusing is only because we cannot set the goalpost clear. So long as everybody can see this goalpost clear, everybody would like to score and nobody would like to be distracted. And thank you very much once again for this opportunity. I'm wishing you the very best in your various endeavors. Please engage with us. Please don't shy away. Please look for us. Yes, we are humans. We have shortcomings, but we'll try as much as possible to ensure that we do the right thing. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Honorable.
May I say to the honorables that yes. Look forward to meeting all of you in the next week or so in Abuja.
Oh, excellent. That's very good. We are welcome.
You're welcome.
Gabriel will be preparing for me. He knows me very well. So Gabriel, be ready. Be ready.
Thank you very much. On behalf of Nigerians in Schengen zone, we want to say thank you so much. Barrister Habiba, thank you so much. We appreciate this wonderful appearance you people have made to our forum. Thank you so much, Honorable Gabriel Odu. Thank you immensely.
Thank you.
Honorable Tirab, we appreciate you. You have put to light so much of the questions that have been bothering some people's mind. Now, please, you will come back again. Yes, you will. We will make our time because we actually didn't answer all there were lots of questions from the other platform. But because of time, we can't take those questions. So, but we'll make our time again. We'll arrange another time and you join us again. We are happy to have you. We are so happy and we wish you all the best as you coordinate affairs for us in Nigeria. So this is it. Our fellow Nigerians in Europe, this brings to an end our forum for today. Continuing next time. Thank you very much, our daddy, chairman of NIDOE Europe, Dr. Bashir Obashikola.
Thank you.
Dr. Bashir, you will always be coming home.
Well, if our other engagement will allow me to do that. But
no, you know what? Because there are issues. Yes, there are. These are the meeting, like you've seen, have issues that refers to you. So yeah. I want to say with all due respect and with joy in me, your seat on the platform is ever there. There is no need to. Please, you always join us as we reconvene any other time. Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you.
It doesn't take me away.
Yes, thank you. So with this, I say good night, everybody. Tomorrow, they say it's Valentine's Day. So we want to wish you, Chuma, are you there? Chuma?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for being here. Today, we've been told that NIDCOM have told us that Nigeria, the story of Nigeria is changing from the negative side to the positive side in the news area. And Schengen media is flying the flag high in trying to turn things right. So I want to use this opportunity to call upon our honorables, Honorable Terab, Gabriel, Barrister Habida, to please, one after the other, wish Nigerians, since tomorrow is our Lovers' Day, wish Nigerians a happy Lovers' Day. Give them a wish so that we will always work towards that love that unites everybody. Let me start with Honorable Terab, please.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that opportunity again. I think there is no gainsaying that love is what makes the world a better place. And there is no place that needs love right now like Nigeria. Everybody needs to love one another so that we can get out of the woods and be the greatest country as we have been destined to be. So I wish everybody the love of this year and of course, happy Lovers' Day tomorrow. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Honorable Gabriel, I'm coming to you. Please remember it's Schengen Story Magazine. Go on.
Yes. Thank you, Schengen. Thank you, Schengen Story Magazine. They say love is universal. It is a universal tool that creates bond. On that note, we from NIDCOM call for unity, call for love, and purposeful synergization or synergy, so to say, and wish everybody happy Lovers' Day. We love one another in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, wherever we are, one love. Thank you.
Thank you. And then actually we know that East, West, North, and South, home is the best. And when you come home, you always meet a mother. So we come to you, Barrister. Please wish Nigerians and the world on behalf of Schengen Story Magazine, please wish them happy Lovers' Day.
Okay, as you celebrate tomorrow, they call it Lovers' Day, but I think you love every day.
Yes.
I want them to understand that love has no language, love has no tribe, love has no dialect. So please let love be the key. As Honorable Terab has said, and Gabriel has said, love heals. Love is everything. Let us love one another. Let us remember that with love, we will succeed as long as we are together. Happy Love Day. Love, and love every day, not only tomorrow, please. You should continue to love one another. Be your brother's keepers. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And then let's close with Dr. Bashir. We believe this is your home. We're in Diaspora. So please, wish us, on behalf of Schengen Story Magazine, wish us a happy Valentine to Nigerians and the world at large. Thank you, please.
Happy Lovers Day. You know, like you've been saying, love is every day. Love heals, love forgives, and love is hope. So I wish every one of us love, that we, you know, supersede whatever challenges we might be facing, either in relationship or anywhere, or, you know, that love will continue to reign. So let love reign, and so that, you know, unity and progress will come to our country, because it's based on love that we can, you know, be united in, you know, in facing our challenges, which in every nation do face, you know, and so that is what, you know, I wish every one of us. Happy Love Day.
Thank you so much. From Schengen Story Magazine, from France, from Greeks, from Malta, from Italy, from UK, from US, from South Africa, Schengen Story Magazine is wishing you happy Valentine's Day. Let love lead. And always remember, fly the positive flag of Nigeria high through Schengen Media. Thank you very much.
Good night, everybody. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.
Good night. Thumbs up.
Bye. Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.